the Virginia Mining Company had its headquarters on this corner, along with one of Tombstone's earliest saloons. In September of that year, they sold a lot to Mary King, who established the King Boarding House. The fire of 1882 destroyed everything at this location. In 85, Mrs. Amelia Adams established a boarding house called the Cochise House. The same year, the rose bush was planted in the hotel patio by Mrs. Adamson's and a hotel guest, Mary Gee. The rose bush had been sent to Mrs. Gee by a relative in Scotland. In the early 1900s, Mrs. Adamson consolidated her buildings and covered them with stone block shaped metal and renamed it the Arcade Hotel and Annex. Wow, this place is huge.
Yeah, some of these places were big.
And then, gotta turn the page.
Turn the page.
In 1919, James and Ethel Macia bought the property. The rose bush was planted to grow over an old wooden shed, and much of it was lying on the ground. James Macia built the steel pipe and wood post trellis during the 1920s, and the rose bush thrived. During the 1930s, the hotel was stopping off place for numerous outstanding authors and newspaper columnists. One of them was Robert Ripley, who declared the rose bush as the world's largest in his column. Believe it or not, in 1934.
Yeah, Ripley's Believe It or Not.
In 1936, the Arcade Hotel was renamed the Rose Tree Inn in honor of the magnificent rose bush. Burton and Jean DeVere purchased the property in 41. However, the Macias, Janine's parents, remained in residence until their deaths. James in 1951 and Ethel in 1964. The inn remained a popular boarding house until it closed in 53. The hotel and the rose tree was incorporated into the Rose Tree Museum in 1964. Ethel Macia and Jean DeVere spent much of their lives collecting and preserving Tombstone's history. The Rose Tree Museum stands as a memorial to these remarkable women. The Rose Tree Complex is one of Tombstone's historical buildings.
Very cool. Oh look,
Number 36.
so there's the suites. So here's more stuff if you want to stay in Tombstone. Cabinsintombstone.com. And those might be the ones down there, those new ones they built. Oh yeah, yeah.
All right,
And
so
I
the
think
next one
that
is...
horse drop dusted me, man. I can smell him.
Oh.
So here we are. This is number 37.
36.
36? Okay. It's the original engine company, or one of the original engine companies, and now it's a senior center. But here we go, number 36. This was built after there were devastating fires. It had a rescue hook and ladder. This was the most interesting part. A 15-inch pipe was laid to bring water from Huachuca Mountains to Tombstone, resulting in water pressure that would blow down an adobe. Over the years, this building has had many uses, including museum, theater, and senior center. This is the original 1881 structure, worn but still standing. Now, when you drive around down here and you go into Sierra Vista and all of that, you will cross the different highways and roads, actually cross over the water line, and it's marked. And it's amazing that they were able to get water from there to here. And a few years ago, they had issues. The water wasn't coming, and the Forest Service wouldn't really let them bring machinery up there. So they had to get a whole bunch of people to go up there and do all of that work by hand in order to restore the water back to the town. Now, what they use that water for, I don't know. How much of it they get, I don't know. I don't know if they have modern wells or any of that, but it's still a running water line, still works. Now this here, this is the Tombstone Restoration Commission. It's the commission that put out the book that we're doing the by the numbers by, and it's right here. And if you live in the area and you want to volunteer, you can come and help them restore the old buildings and the old stuff and do different things and all of that. And there's so many ways that you can volunteer. So if you're retiring, you want to spend your time doing some stuff, there's this, there's the Mescal movie set, there's the Empire Ranch, there's a million different things that you can do here to occupy your time. This is the mine, and you can actually do this tour here, which would be kind of cool. But here's the plaque over here. So this is 37B, which is the good enough mine. discovered by Chef Lynn in 1878. 90 miners working at the Goodenough mine. Had steam hoists. $1 million stope by producing gold and silver. Labyrinth of, yeah, the Goodenough mine underground stopes remain today.
Wow.
Only through a portion of them have only a portion have been stabilized. Wow, but this is really cool. We'll take a look over here. We're gonna come back at some point and do a tour. But yeah, look at all this. What's that? This is very cool. We definitely have to come back to do this.
Yeah.
This tour. Very cool. And they got all the old ore carts over there. Stuff. Very, very cool. And then here's an ore cart. I think these are so cool. And you find these in places you wouldn't suspect. They end up in people's yards and all of that. Very, very cool. This is 37A, and it basically, that's a map. And then here, I'm not even going to try to read this.
It's all about the mines. It's just basically all of 37.
So is there 37A, 37B, and what's anything, another one?
And 37C.
Which is?
The Goodenough mine is 37B, and the Tough Nut mine is 37C.
Okay. All right, we'll have to find the Tough Nut mine. But yeah, very cool. Yeah, we'll have to come and do this tour. This you'll see a lot around here. The repurposed railroad track that they'll use for a lot of different things. Erosion control and fence posts. Yep. Yep, there's the train depot, but I don't know that the plaque is for the Goodenough mine isn't right there. Open 362 days. So we'll have to go back and I'm not sure where that mine, I thought it was just right here, but we'll take a look. We will find it. Let's go check out the depot. So this is now a library. Maybe that might be a fun thing to do, is to come and check out the library.
Monday through Friday.
8 to 12 and 1 to 5. That would definitely be a fun thing to do. Railroad reached Tombstone. Richard Gerd, who, if you watch any of the other videos, he owned one of the mills out there in Millville. Crafted silver and tough nut mines. Printed. Very cool. Let me get the picture of the National Historic Register. Yeah, probably smart they closed this on the weekend, because you got a million looky-loos through here now.
Yep.
And Joe Escapule, whose son, I think it's Dusty or Rusty, was a mayor of the town, and you can actually get tours from him. Yeah, I think it's Dusty Escapule. You can, or I don't know how you say it, but
Escapule?
yeah, let's go check it out. And you'll see most of the towns around here have a old caboose sitting somewhere. Yeah, remember we used to eat there?
Yeah, it was called something else.
Yeah.
I don't remember where it was, but previous owner.
Yep.
Ice cream, nachos, hot dogs, salad, sandwiches.
All at the same time?
Oh
yeah, big old hook.
Known for, apparently.
Very cool. Oh, they blocked it off so you can't climb the roof.
That's pretty smart, because kids.
Yep. Well, and adults.
Oh, yeah.
It'd be cool to have one of these. You could make it a little office. I seen
You could make it a little house.
Yeah. Nope.
The love of horses does not go away.
All right.
It was actually a pretty cool little house that
Oh,
she
so
built in there,
open.
too.
You can go take a look.
Oh.
Just an old rail car.
Definitely big enough to make a house in.
Yeah.
You know how expensive they are to buy.
Yeah, I don't know. I think the hardest part would be getting them to where you need them to be.